effect in black neighborhoods. And now 20 years later, we're supposed to say, oops, my bad, forget about it and move on. I'm telling you folks, wake up. And the fact that nobody is asking her about that super predator comment tells me they're all complicit. This is crazy. Nobody's ever asked me that.
You know what? Nobody's ever asked me before. You're the first person to ask. You know what? Nobody's ever asked me before. You're the first person to ask me, and I'm happy.
Now, that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. This far into the race and no one's ever asked you that before? Where's the media? You know, that is a completely legitimate question. It's a completely legitimate question. And you tell me, though, what do you think about it? Am I making too much of it? That sister, her name is Ashley Williams.
I think very deeply.
She thinks very deeply. She thinks very deeply. I don't care about nothing else that Hillary Clinton has to say. I want to know the evolution of her change of thinking between making this comment about super predators.
Not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators.
And to be honest with you, in Cincinnati, you still see that mentality. There are people in Cincinnati that think that black kids are super predators. And they act like that. You know it. And let me tie it all together. You have somebody like Tracy Hunter who said, look, these kids aren't super predators. They just made some mistakes. They're delinquents. They need to be reformed. And then she gets vilified for it. I'm telling you, don't let the mainstream media, right, confuse you into believing that those comments that Hillary Clinton made 20 years ago had no impact whatsoever. Because I'm here to tell you it most certainly did. That's why we're talking about it. Her name is Ashley Williams, real MC. Where are the brothers at? Why didn't a brother do that? I'm telling you, there's some of these brothers out here, man. I don't know if it's the milk. I don't know if it's the water. I don't know if it's the lead in the environment. I don't know what it is. But they ain't making men like they used to. Let me give you another exhibit A about that point. Because some people might say, Nate, there you go again. What you mean to men? Men's is out here doing things too. I'm telling you, we are living in the last days of common sense. We really are. That's in common sense. They don't make men. They don't make men like they used to. Let me give you another exhibit here, another example of the fact they don't make men the way they used to, and or the fact that we're living in the last days of common sense. I just posted this on my Facebook page. Now, everybody know John Legend, right? John Legend. Yeah, John Legend. And his wife is Christy Teigen. I hope I'm saying her name right. But if I'm saying it wrong, I'm not on E! Entertainment Television. Okay, Christy Teigen. And they are about to give birth to a brand new child, and it's a girl. And now Miss Chrissy's in the media saying that she chose to have a girl. And you can do those things, right? The modern medicine these days. She chose to have a girl because her husband deserves a daughter. Let that sink in. This woman says she chose to have a girl because her husband deserves a daughter. Now, I know she light-skinned, and light-skinned is a new rage or biracial. I'm not sure what she is. It doesn't really matter. But who the hell do she think she is? I thought that was God's role to determine the gender of the child. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I have a son now. Every man wants to have a son, a spitting image, a junior. Who the hell is this woman? Just to decide, you know what, baby? You deserve a girl. What? And he's rolling with it? I'm not making this up, fam. Find me on Facebook right now, Nathan Ivey. I'm sure many of you already have. And take a look at that article coming from the Griot. Yet another example that they ain't making black men like they used to. The hell? Maybe daddy deserves a son. How about that? Nothing wrong with having a girl. Got a beautiful daughter. She's beautiful. We love her. But who is this? And it made me think, like, wait a minute. That's kind of like playing God. I'm telling you. With technology, we're moving toward the world of designer babies. You can decide if your child's going to be a male or a female, the color of the eyes, skin tone color of the hair. At some point, you'll probably be able to even determine whether your child's going to be good at soccer or basketball or football. What the hell? He deserves to have a daughter? We can see who's wearing the pants in that relationship. Tell me I'm wrong. That's a different type of whipped. It's a different type of whipped. What the hell? Just the world is coming to an end. It really is. It is coming to an end very, 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 very quickly. Find me on Facebook and check out that article. Just another example of what I've been telling you, folks. We are living in the last days of common sense. It's undeniable. It's undeniable. And there's no way to refute it. Now, fellas, you tell me. You're married. You're in a relationship. Your wife comes to you and tells you, you know what? You deserve to have whatever because she says so. And you rolling with that? You tell me. You tell me. It's a Friday. We can talk about anything. Rhonda saying she can't hear. I'm not sure. Everything seems checked out on my end, Rhonda. Everything seems checked out. Let me read some of your text messages while you catch up to the show again. Good morning. My name is Nathan Ivey. This is Nathan Ivey Online. Brent writes, and I think he's speaking of Hillary Clinton. He writes, she still hasn't produced the transcripts for her speeches she receives payment from Goldman Sachs for doing. And she still didn't answer the question regarding super predators and bringing them to heel. She said, let's go back to the issues. That's exactly what she said. That's exactly what she says. Or here's another thing. And listen, ladies, it is what it is. I'm being honest with you. But when people start to press Hillary Clinton on releasing the transcripts for her speeches to Goldman Sachs, you know what she does? She plays the woman card. Why? I'm a woman. No, these other men haven't been forced to reveal who they talk to. Wait. Don't play the gender card. Just answer the question. Again, another legitimate question. If Goldman Sachs is asking you, they're paying you to come to their headquarters or wherever the speeches took place and deliver a speech to them, are you saying things that are favorable? Are you promising them things? Are you saying, look, I support you? Or in that moment, are you saying, look, I understand you got a role in American society, but here's where I feel like you folks are going too far. That's what people want to know. So people know. When you were talking with Goldman Sachs, were you tough? Were you standing up? Were you fighting for the people? Or were you taking that big check and telling them whatever they wanted to say? That's it. Whatever they wanted to hear. And, you know, my spider sense tells me it's probably the latter. It's probably the latter. And that's the reason why she doesn't really want to release it. Because if she has been speaking tough and speaking truth to power to the good folks over at Goldman Sachs, then in this moment, she would release them because it would make her look better with the American people. And to me, the fact that she's dragging her feet tells me that she probably rolled in there. And from what I understand, she got some big checks. I'm talking about 6 figures, folks. Could you imagine getting 6 figures for a speech in front of a closed-in audience? And now we ain't talking about stadiums here. We're talking about a closed-in audience to a very, very niche audience. And she's getting 6 figures. And something tells me, you know, behind closed doors, she was probably telling them what they wanted to hear, like Mitt Romney when he got caught. Remember that? Behind closed doors, telling them what they wanted to hear. I get it. You raise them money, you got to do what you got to do. But the truth needs to come out as well, in my opinion. Rhonda writes, never mind, back on. Good. I'm glad you're back with us, Rhonda. Mike writes, John Legend equals soft. Great artist, though. He is a great artist. Kinda. B writes, she is a typical snake-like politician. She will not say black children or white children, but wake up and smell the coffee. She was talking about blacks, and blacks are the ones who were mass incarcerated. That's right. That's right, because when crack cocaine hit the black community, there wasn't the love affair, there wasn't the outpouring of emotion and empathy that we see with the heroin addicts. It wasn't like that. Back then, you had mothers who were addicts. They were vilified on front page newspapers, right? Vilified for not having enough impulse control and not taking care of their children, right? It was lock them up, throw away the key. They wanted to throw away the drug dealers and the drug users. See, now we know better. It's 2016. It's the new millennium. We've learned. So now we're much more empathetic to folks who are suffering from their addiction, right? All right, what else here? Tracy writes $675,000 for a speech. Over $500,000. That's the lottery for everyday working people. $675,000 for a speech. What does that tell you? That tells you that it wasn't about the speech. It was about the connection. It was about the alliance. It was about the relationship. More than likely, I'm speculating here, that Hillary Clinton was making with Wall Street. Period. Tiffany writes, and good morning, Tiffany. She writes, I'm all for a woman as president, but not Hillary. She's not the right one. Can't trust her. I agree. A lot of folks are saying they want to see Michelle Obama get into the world of politics. I can see that. I mean, I want to hear what her platform is, but I can see that. Shango writes, does anyone have the audio and video where Hillary Clinton specifically and verbatim says that African-American children are super predators? Well, I can post a link for you. I've got a little bit of the audio.
Not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
Yeah. And this was like a year or so before Columbine. So who do you think she was talking about? Super predators. Like I said, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers, they just dealt with a regular predator. He could turn invisible. He had these ray beams. He had a claw. Oh, no. In Hillary Clinton's America in the mid-'90s, in the streets, we were dealing with super predators. You got to take them down on sight. And to me, you still see this mentality being played out when law enforcement polices certain neighborhoods. I put it that way. And no, she didn't mention color. That would be what politician does in that kind of way. But we're all smart people. We're all adults. Take yourself back to the mid-'90s and what was going on. Okay, you had the last days of what's happened in terms of the crack cocaine explosion. What do you think they were talking about? This was before Columbine, right? When white kids took over in terms of the face of crazy. So what do you think they were talking about, man? Brent writes, Goldman Sachs recently paid $5 billion in fines because they defrauded clients. No executive even went to court, let alone got arrested, but she accepts $600,000 in speaking fees in the past year. Yeah, I understand it. And I'll be honest with you. If Goldman Sachs called me and said, hey, Nate, when you come in, we'll pay you $600 grand, I'm there. I'll do it my way, but I'm there. What do you think? Tracy writes, she never mentioned color, did she? Question right. No, she did not. Mr. Hollywood says, good morning. Good morning to you. Brent writes, yes, I have the video, but she says they are called. She will say it wasn't a direct quote. She is a slick politician. Yeah, she's very, very slick. But again, this young woman, Ashley Williams, deserves a lot of props just for her courage, because a lot of folks don't have courage these days. They really don't. And I'll be honest with you, at least on the national scene, it seems like there's a lot, and even here in the city. It was black women that went face-to-face with some protesters. What was it, last year? Remember? You had some good folks came together. They were downtown at the stadium, and they were talking about the issues. And then you had some folks who show up, some white males. I'm just being descriptive here. And they went face-to-face with black females, some of which we know the names. Iris Rowley, she was there. Where are the men? That's all I'm asking. Where are the brothers? Rhonda writes, it's called code talk. Exactly, Rhonda. She was talking in code. Super predators during the mid-'90s. You know exactly who she was talking about. And that's why Ashley Williams confronted her. And if you missed it, it's on the grill right now. And I'll post it on my Facebook page just a little later in the program. But I want to move on. If you missed the show, yesterday I was live at the press conference. I got a chance to not only ask questions and interact, but I got a chance to talk with Tracy Hunter as well. And if you're just tuning in, the latest is that her supporters are alleging that somebody basically was tampering with evidence that could have possibly exonerated Judge Tracy Hunter. So now the question mark is, number one, ascertaining as to whether that is actually factually true. Okay. And something tells me that the smart folks that I saw downtown would not have done that unless they felt they had credible information. And number two, ascertaining as to whom actually tampered with it. Who did it? And then what does that say about county leadership? Who's really running things? But as I said, I got a chance to catch up with Tracy Hunter. I played a little bit of the clip, but now I'll play it for you in its entirety. Check this out.
It's because it was evidence that's material to your innocence. And so that was clearly a deliberate act. And it's inexplicable as to why Judge Nadel denied that motion to preserve evidence, because based on the nature of the alleged crime that they were accusing me of, that was just legal common sense. There's
Right.
no reason to explain